I can't.
And your claim to fame,
Well,
I know you said you're a chef. Is that something you started out trying to be? Or?
No, actually, it's kind of funny. So I played professional baseball.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
I played professional baseball. So I was in Mexico playing 4.5 years.
What was the team name?
The team was called Los Pescadores de Veracruz.
What does that mean?
So like the fishermen.
Oh, okay, yeah,
like the fishermen. And so so it was just I lived in Mexico. Once again, like I would wake up, walk to the field, living in Mexico, and it was a town where it was an ocean.
Oh, yeah,
it was a port. It was a coastal town. It was a port town. It was a port town, and you had a lot of boats coming in, and the everything was sunny and 95 every day. I mean, if it got cold, it was probably 65 was coldest.
And that's my zone.
That's your zone, right? That's your zone because you lived in Maui. But so I played there and played there for 4.5 years, and I just
how old were you?
I was 22 when I started playing there.
Okay.
And so it was great. I had a lot of crowd. Yeah, I mean I played second base. I played second base for them. I played second base for them and played middle infield for them and enjoyed it, and like I said, it was just one of those things where you just went to the field and enjoyed yourself and woke up and the sun was shining and you just made a good day of it, and that's why I just feel like
that's a beautiful thing,
right.
Man.
So that's why I just feel like sometimes for a long time I lived my life like that, just like get up and enjoy my day, just trying to enjoy my day like nothing, just go play ball.
Something happens, you can deal with it.
Yeah, exactly. Just go play ball. Hey, I have to go out and practice. I have to make myself better every day, but go out and make it a day of it. Make it a good day and get a base hit tonight and win the game or do something special. That's how it was. That's how it was. So it was really fun like that. Totally fun.
Man, that's awesome. So how long were you living in Mexico?
4.5 years.
Up until what year?
I was almost 28 years old, give or take.
Okay.
28 years old and this and that. So I would just go back and forth once in a while, and they would, I would, so I got hurt. I hurt my back. And so it was just kind of like one of those things where I was trying to rehab and go back and just, it's hard to catch on again with the leukemia. Yeah. And so but that's the way it goes. Yeah, I'm healthier.
Just find something else to
do and keep on doing it right, another direction. And so got done with that. And then I know a buddy of mine was going to school in Chicago at DePaul University.
Okay.
In Chicago. And I was there visiting him. He was like, come on and visit. And I was like, all right, go out and visit him. And then my buddies. And then this young kid, I call him a young kid. He had like a chef outfit on. It's like, hey, where you work at? He's like, no, I go to school right down there because we're on the platform for the train. We were on the platform for the train. We go, I go to school right there. It's like, okay. He's like, you want to check it out? And I was like, why you ask me that? Like, why do you ask me that? Like, oh, okay. And so I didn't even give a thought. I was there in Chicago for another week visiting my buddy because I had nothing to do. Really, I was just finished playing baseball. I had money saved up. So I was like, I'm just going to hang out in Chicago. And then, and didn't even think I was like, I'm going to go chat this school that he was talking about. So kind of one thing led to another, became a chef.
Oh, wow.
So it was kind of weird.
That's kind of how it progressed, right?
That's how it kind of progressed. But I had always loved cooking.
Oh.
Even as a kid, it was kind of funny. Even as a kid, I always loved cooking. My mom would give me cookbooks as a kid.
Oh,
stuff like that.
Sounds like she was leaving.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. And so my mom was always like, you have to learn something, maybe cook for yourself. So I always learned how to cook at a young age also. Like the French toast, and I always, would do like spaghetti and meatballs, or something like that. It was always the little common things. But yeah, I learned how to cook at a young age, and then this kind of just fell into my lap, and I was like, you know what, I can do this. This would be fun.
It's kind of, I mean, some people may not like what I'm saying here, but because my father in our household, my mother did most of the cooking,
right?
But every time my father would cook, it was always something extra special. It just, for some reason, all the men kind of in my family ended up being better cooks than the women. Yeah. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that's bad anyways, but it just seemed like I think the male version.
But you know what? I mean, Chuck, but it's kind of funny because for a long time, all you had was men that were chefs. The last 5, 6, 7 years, a lot of women have started dominating because, is it because of the internet, or is it because of the revolution of TV?
Oh, yeah.
Food Network, this and that. People started doing whatever it was, but I mean,
It turned
more power.
celebrity.
Yeah, right. More power to them, because I mean, they turned it right. Now they're celebrities.
Yeah.
I mean, they're in their own world of food, stuff like that, but they're on TV.
Oh my gosh. I've been to like certain restaurants, especially out on Maui, because there's such an eclectic and variety of different foods in fusion.
Oh, I would just imagine.
I mean, it's just
Asians, with Hawaiian, Pacific,
and just the way it didn't matter who was cooking it, male, female, whatever. It all just tastes good.
that's bottom line. I mean, it's got to taste great. And especially I've heard that the islands are so expensive. So the food is so expensive. But and then you get but everything's got to be fresh as far as fish.
Everything that's imported, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So food and housing is another one that's as a single person living out there, I would never imagine even thinking about trying to buy a home there. It's just not feasible.
Right, yeah. They have matter of fact, there's a show on like HGTV right now where it's this couple this couple buys houses, renovates them, and sells them, but the houses they're talking about, they don't look as spectacular, but they're still trying to sell them for $1 million. I'm like, God, man, really?
Yeah.
And they're like, I don't understand how you going to pay $1 million in 30 years? That's a lot of money you got to be making. So yeah, it's crazy. So I can just imagine how, like my nephew who was stationed there not so long ago.
Oh yeah, okay.
Yeah, and he was stationed there not so long ago, and he was like, yeah, a bag of Cheetos is $10.
Yeah.
I was like, wow, like, I complain when it's $3.
Yeah, I know. It kind of, unless you're very well off, it kind of forces you to be frugal and
live off the land. Live off the land, right? They would
fishing,
there you go. Yeah,
just ways of getting around it.
And that's why you have a lot of really cool chefs nowadays.
Yeah,
because they do that. They live off the land, or they show you what's up, or they, whether men, women. A lot of these chefs now. I mean, they're it's incredible.
So you as a chef, I mean, that's something you're still doing, right? So
I still do that.
Is that is it somewhere in the city that?
Yeah, I am. I'm a chef over at the San Antonio Country Club.
Okay.
San Antonio Country Club.
Yeah,
and so it's a private club, and so it's kind of it's really exclusive, and you can't. Nobody can just
show up. Right?
Nobody can just show up and say, "I want to have lunch today." So sorry, but
so more of a you gotta be a member.
You gotta be a member, or a member take you there, or be invited, or a member has to invite you to take you to lunch, or even take you to play golf, or take you to do anything there. Because they have tennis courts, and they have pickleball courts.
Oh,
they have yeah. So it's really cool. It's really cool. It's a really cool club. Some people don't even know where it's at. Because they've never been there.
But I don't know where it is.
It's down Hildebrand. If you're coming from 281 down Hildebrand, and you dead end right into it. We're going on Hildebrand, North New Braunfels.
Yeah.
You dead end right into it. Yeah. Chuck, you dead right, just right into it. And then, but you'll be like, what is this place? Because it's funny, because our backyard, our fence line is the fence line of Fort Sam Houston.
Oh.
So we share a fence line.
Okay.
Yeah, we share a fence line with Fort Sam Houston.
Okay.
And so like at the end of the golf course,
a lot of as members are a lot of them military.
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't know any military members.
Wow.
Yeah,
they probably don't even know where.
It's very exclusive. Like I said, it's very exclusive, and
you would think it'd be on a golf course or something, but
right, and it's very exclusive and stuff like that. So it's just one of those things.
So how did you luck out? I want to say luck. See, how did you skill into that gig?
Oh, you know what? So it's kind of funny. My dad knows the HR person, and I. So because of COVID, like we were talking about COVID earlier, because of COVID, I had my own catering company.
Okay,
and then COVID just blew it out.
Blew it out
of the water. Nobody wanted to do anything. Nobody even wanted to touch food. It seemed like, it's like, oh, we were scared of everything. And so that's what happened with that situation there. So she was like, yeah, they're looking for people. I was like, you know what? after all these years having, I had 2 restaurants here in San Antonio. And so after having my catering company and I was doing great, and said COVID hit and just
killed it.
Yeah, I did a total bad, total rewind, so
With both the restaurants, I mean, did COVID affect those?
you know what? I had already sold the restaurants before COVID. My first restaurant was a while back and I did great there. Just very tired. A lot of work, very tired. This guy came in and he was like, "Hey, I want to buy your restaurant." I was like, I was like, well, at first I was like, "No, I'm good. I really enjoy being here." And then a couple weeks later, he came back in and he was like, "Hey, offer still stands." So I was like, "Here you go. He's like, "Okay, let's do it." Wow. So I sold for quite a bit, and I said, "Great, let's do it." So then I let it. So I was like, "Okay, I'll let it go."
Continue working?
No, never did. No, he wanted to do his own thing. Yeah, he wanted to do his own thing. I said, "Fine, it's yours." And then like 2 years, maybe 3 years after that, I was working for somebody. I was kind of being a floating chef, a company out of San Antonio.
Okay.
They owned military contracts.
Oh, wow.
They owned military contracts, Chuck, and so I would float around to different bases and feed these private.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I would think that's pretty lucrative too.
Yeah, it was really good. I just stayed in a hotel for months and months and months. For months and months and months. I mean, it wasn't like we were going.
Traveling.
Yeah, they wouldn't even give us an apartment. They would just be like, just stay in a hotel, because we would be there like 2 weeks, and then we'd be there like a month. And then we would be at different bases. Like Louisiana had a couple of bases that we would go to, and Maryland, and it was just different places. And so they would always just tell us, "We'll just get you a hotel room." Yeah. So I'm like, "Okay, fine." So I did that for a couple of years, and then I said, "You know what? I'm ready to open another restaurant." So I opened another restaurant, and then the landlord was just such an ass, and I couldn't deal with him anymore. I was like, "You know what?" I was like, I know my lease is coming up. Yeah, overbearing to where like he wanted to, I was paying a certain amount and he wanted to triple it. Oh, because he knew I was doing good.
He saw the money.
Yeah,
I need some of that.
Yeah, he knew I was doing good, and I was like, this is my living.
Yeah,
tripling my rent is not going to make it any better.
Yeah,
it's like, and I told him, it's like, I know we're supposed to renew at the end of the month. I'll be out of here at the end of the month. And he was
straight
like,
up. Yeah.
It's like, what? And I was like, yeah, I'll be out of here. I'm like, I said, even if it kills people, that I'll tell them, like, hey, I'm done. This guy doesn't, guy doesn't want to work with me. Yeah.
Trying to trickle the rent. You're trying to steal my money.
You're right. And so I just like, I'm not going to deal with that. So I said, you know what? I'm just going to keep my catering company that I did. I can find a kitchen somewhere where I can rent and enjoy it and have people call me all the time, because I had a lot of customers. And so I just did that for a long time until COVID. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, until COVID. So
have you ever, as a chef, have you ever worked with any of the celebrity chefs?
No, haven't had a chance to. Buddy of mine that lives in Chicago. Grew up with him. He's a really, really good chef that he travels a lot. And he wants to come into San Antonio, do a couple of pop-ups. He hasn't told me when, so I'll probably work with him. But he hasn't told me anything when he's coming in, so I'm just kind of waiting. I think he wants to do it. During Fiesta, but I'm like, I'm busy during Fiesta, so I'm like, then to grab people.
Tell him something.
Yeah, and then for people to like get away from Fiesta and try to go to a pop-up dinner, like, I think you should wait till after Fiesta to do it. He's like, okay, maybe I should. And I was like, so just let me know. Yeah. He travels a lot to Europe and to Colombia and Brazil. He does a lot of pop-up events there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He's been really.
Yeah. He asked you to come with him.
Yeah, he has. And I haven't had the time. Like, plus I'm like, yeah, no, trust me. I want, like, Brazil I want to go to, and Colombia I want to go to, but he's like, yeah, come with me and enjoy, a week with it. We'll do a pop-up dinner. Yeah.
Maybe you can do kind of like an Anthony Bourdain type.
Yes.
Learn some new stuff.
Yes. Yeah. Because what he does also, he goes to the markets. Those, like the markets in like different cities. He'll go to the markets and show their different.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah.
Customs of the way they do the food and the spices and what they're cooking. Right. That's what he does. So, and he has a I don't think it's podcast, but because he does it like on one of the channels or or something, where he's able to have somebody film him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
So it's not his own thing, but
no, it's not his own thing, but it's with somebody.
Okay.
And he always sends me clips, stuff like that.
Oh yeah, so I have to see if we can.
Yeah, hook him up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so if he comes in town, I'll definitely try to get it
out. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, reach out and get to it. Maybe we can do something.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Chuk Jones. If you made it this far into the video, please take a moment to like, follow, and subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any future episodes.